everyone. It's another Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulu or Labisi Ubu, and with me are the ladies. Excellent morning, everyone.
Morning.
Amazing morning.
How you doing, Nima?
Fine. I'm grateful to God. And it's still the countdown to Sunday, birthday. And of course, I'm still talking about childhood cancers. This one, I had to call Korede. So it's rhabdomyosarcoma. The kind of cancer that affects muscles and starts from the cells, goes into the muscles, and starts weaknesses in the muscles. But of course, again, in childhood cancers, it's curable. If detected early, there's a 99% chance of total survival recovery. Surgeries vary from cancer to cancer. And
So this fund is for a group of children.
Oh, no, at the Doctors Cancer Foundation, they deal with all forms of cancer in children. And we have a ward at the oncology ward. We have a pediatric oncology ward in Luth, where the kids are, and then they meet once a week. And parents also gather, members gather once a month. So we do that kind of outreach, and we try to raise funds. I've been on the board for 4 years. People don't know. Wow. I once reached out to a charity who wanted to sponsor, and they said my name was not on the board. I have been on the board for more than 4 years. And I've not really talked about it, just did things silently. But now I put my face on it because, you know, I've seen the work Dr. Dio Joseph and Korede and all the people working at the foundation.
So let me just quickly ask.
I like your outfit, by the way.
I'm wearing House of Busy eventually.
So you were not going to mention it.
I never finished the one where I carry
this is, I didn't know.
But
it's
thank
really
you.
nice.
Watch out for my picture. I'm going to model.
Please do so.
I wanted to chip in on it because many times we feel like we need to contribute a lot of money to support something, but every little thing counts. You can raise $1 million if 1,000 people drop 10,000 naira or drop 1,000. Let's just put something on ground.
How you doing?
I'm very, very good. I did sleep in my house yesterday, so you know, I feel like I'm used to doing this thing. I don't need to say everything on TV, so let's just leave it like that.
Let's keep it for you.
Yes, let's keep it. Today's banter is
not a blackout training. You're doing a course now.
Yes. Today's banter is go and check me out on social media. I did teach. If I teach you, your life is gonna change. So look out for my social media page and watch the videos.
How you doing, Mary?
I'm doing fine. Just amazing. Every day, do something, work hard, be the mother to the children.
The rest of us.
And bully the rest of us.
Wow.
We need to write
Oh, don't say that on TV, please.
Wow.
Of anybody here.
Did you see sugar at the back of my mouth when I was talking?
Did you see us?
Did you see
Who
salt
is bullying
at
who?
the back of my mouth? When I
The
was
bully on this table is
See the
here.
Niger Delta stuff. I'm waiting.
People will not believe what happens behind the scene.
I'm telling you.
Let's just be quiet.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm still talking about the care mentorship program.
Yes.
Yeah. So people have been asking, is it virtual? It's actually virtual. I have access to the course from anywhere in the world. So it's not just for Nigerians. If you're living in the US, UK, Canada, you can register. We meet Saturdays, and the next one is starting on the 17th of September. So there's enough time for registration and for people to take advantage of the 10% discount that's coming. And you have me for life, one-on-one coaching. Anytime.
Access.
It's not easy because my price is going up. As I'm going.
Yesterday's price
It's not today's price. Yeah. All right, ladies. Thank you so much. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's start with the nation. Soyinka slams pirates, confraternity for mocking politician. Dariye Nyame orders regain freedom. 2022 WASC withholds 365,564 results. How to cushion Nigeria's rising debt portfolio by LCCI. Nigeria loses 400,000 barrels of crude oil daily to theft, says Silva. PDP postpones NEC caucus meeting as Atiku-Wike rift deepens. IG dismisses constable. Okay, who has what here?
I have the 400,000 barrels of crude oil daily. So the Minister for State for Petroleum Temipre Silva, was visiting the governor of Imo State, and along with him was the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, General Loki Rabo, and some other dignitaries. And he was then addressing that OPEC quota for us has been 1.8 million barrels daily. We're only able to meet 1.4. And that one, the 400 missing, has been 400,000 missing on the 1.4 million barrels daily has been due to oil theft. This is huge, and the economic consequence of it is also very huge. It's serious, and it deserves serious concerns. So I read through and carefully. I wanted to see what was being done, because this is who can do something. But he said that the solution to oil theft is not an Abuja issue. It is an issue that all stakeholders must join hands. And I would quickly just quote the governor agreeing with him. He said that there's need for serious cooperation among stakeholders, federal government, state government, the NNPC themselves, and host communities. The Minister for State was referring to host communities, being the ones who witness, pilfering of this oil through the pipelines and all of that, the crude through pipelines. But the governor addressed the issue that, everybody's hand must be on deck. The Chief of Defense Staff also agreed with them. They talked about what they could be doing and the need for host communities to now start as the people to defend the oil wells within their communities. We passed a law where this was supposed to be an agreement, but the percentage continued to be an issue. And our guest yesterday was talking about sincere intentions at the negotiations. The communities were now saying the percentage you are giving and the pipeline rules that you are giving other communities, this is going to encourage grievances, and then people will start to not conform with the general will. So we need this to be balanced.
Talking about sincere intentions, the IGP of police yesterday dismissed Police Constable Liyomo Okoye. If we remember the viral video of a police officer that was using a machete to beat a Nigerian citizen. And so the IGP is saying that this dismissal is just to reiterate his commitment to ethical regeneration, restoration of professional standard, and enhancement of anti-corruption drive with dedication to entrenching human rights-driven policing within the country. And he was charging all the commissioners of police, those who are in charge, the supervisory roles of their personnel, and charging them to strictly supervise how they carry out their duties. He says that it's really with sadness that he's received the reports on the brutality and just the way that police officers, some of the police officers have carried, are carrying out their policing. But he is very adamant that he's going to, clean up the
system.
So I'm very grateful for what he's done. It's a good message that you're sending, and you're setting a good example. So well done, and we hope that this would, reflect eventually on how the rest of the police officers behave
outside.
Yes.
So you have a
yes, I wasn't a major headline. The Yoruba Council of Elders held their quarterly meeting in Oyo, and they released a communique. In that communique, signed by the chairman, the secretary, the treasurer, the national welfare officer of the Yoruba Council of Elders, they reiterated their support for the flag bearer of the APC, the presidential flag bearer for APC. They said that the former governor of Lagos State's contribution to strengthening the democracy of Nigeria is enough to help him clinch victory at the 2023 election. They spoke about how he has served at on many levels. They also mentioned that they mentioned that his qualities, his achievements, make him an easy candidate, and they are putting their support, as the Yoruba Council of Elders are supporting the presidential bid of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's pretty much the story. Okay,
so they talked about the results of the WAEC, and they said 365,564 candidates that wrote the 2022 West African Senior Secondary School Certificate examinations have been withheld. Their results have been withheld by WAEC, saying that 1,222,505 candidates representing 76.36% of the 1,601,047 participants that took the examination had credits in 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. And they talked about, in comparison with the result of last year, which was 2021, saying that this result was less than what they had last year in terms of people who passed the examinations. And one of the reasons they failed was a lot of reliance on their examination malpractice. They were buying fake papers, and by the time they got into the hall, they realized that the papers they bought that they relied on was fake, and so a lot of them failed. And they're calling out all those teachers and school owners that are aiding this malpractice. Yes, they need to fish them out, and they are not helping the educational system. So let's move on to the Punch. Peace talks suffer. Wike descends on Atiku's men. Nigeria, 3 others top World Bank debtors list. Shiites, security agents clash in Kaduna, 6 killed. Ondo Amotekun intercepts 168 invaders hiding under cows. Kidnappers kill 3, abduct women, children, senator's relative. Lagos Ibadan traffic, hoodlums create tunnel, extort desperate motorists. What stories do we have here? Somebody on agric budgets hits 874 billion. Food imports gulp 7.81 trillion. Who took that story?
I want to take the tout story. So, Long Bridge is a part of the transfer from Ogun State into Lagos State when you are coming inward beggar. And because of the constructions by Julius Berger, there's been increase in traffic in that area. Now we have a group of people, about 6 of them. They dug a tunnel under the Long Bridge, got a pumping machine to take out water because the place is actually flooded, and decided to allow motorists pass through that area, created a tolling system, collected money from every car that passed through that area. By passing under the tunnel, they now face the incoming traffic. They're doing one way. Wow. To get to Bega. Now, we know the traffic is a problem. The reporters from Punch said that they were trying to get the hoodlums. The hoodlums were smoking definitely substance that they shouldn't. They were drinking alcohol from sachets, and they tried to interview them, and they said, we're busy. We cannot say police officers don't know what is going on there, because you cannot carry pumping machine to be pumping water under Long Bridge, and nobody's seeing you. They're collecting money. There are things we can do. Yes, Nigerians would always find the wrong way to solve problems, but the police, because it can also be an avenue for crime to take place. So they must shut down this means. It's a bit of hardship for Nigerians. Let us bear the hardship while the road is getting done. It's just for a short while.
Yeah. Let's take a short break. The newspaper reviews continues afterwards. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. We're still looking at the punch. You have
a Wole Soyinka story.
Okay.
So, you know, a viral video trending showed the Sea Dogs, that's the pirates' confraternity, marching out and, you know, chanting songs detrimental to the personality running for the APC presidential ticket. And he had to address it. According to him, let me even quote him, he said, because it is known worldwide, my affiliations with this confraternity, I must disassociate myself from this that they have done. And I love, you know, he's a very, very...
He's very articulate.
So he's very articulate. He said, an interim statement, the display acidly targets a presidential candidate in the awaited 2023 elections. Since the whole world knows of my connection with the confraternity, I state in clear, unambiguous terms that I am not involved in that public performance nor in any way associated with the sentiments expressed in the song. He also said he's not aware that the confraternity has party affiliations now, and because he is no longer of such influence, so he will not tell them where their party affiliations and co should be. But he thinks that this sensibility, that the sensibilities as Africans not to do a thing like this is ingrained in us from our childhood. No, to distastefully talk about a person's frailties. He says to mock the person. He said, I am frankly appalled and I find it distasteful. I belong to a culture where we do not mock physical afflictions or disabilities of the person. He then says that he has a writer who he looked up to, who he called his ideological uncle, the black Jacobin C.L.R. James, who wrote The Black Jacobin and Beyond a Boundary and several other books, that this person had Parkinson's disease and they interacted, and even he lived well. He lived in Tanzania. They interacted politically. He continued to, to achieve things even with that disability that he suffered in his old age, and that he will not in any way support anything that mocks that kind of affliction.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, I have to talk about the insecurity in our country. So on Sunday, it's been reported that in Taraba, Katsina, and Niger states, bandits had gone haywire again. So in Taraba State, they said that for 4 hours, these bandits came into their community, Bali, and they were shooting sporadically. And they did this for about 4 hours. They abducted so many people. Many of them were women that were abducted. The leader of the community said that 2 of his subjects were killed. The marshals, that they call them, the Taraba marshals at the checkpoint, were also killed by these bandits. They did this and went away. After 4 hours, no security came to their rescue. Then another case of terrorists abducted the wife of Mani Keita. He's a younger brother of the senator representing Daura Senatorial District, Katsina State. They said that these bandits came into the area and they went and in the neighborhood, they abducted 2 children in that neighborhood. They said the government arrived the residence of the brother of the senator late at night, abducted the wife, then went to a neighbor house and abducted 2 children after beating up the mother before they took that away. They said they operated for about 2 hours. No one came to their rescue and they left. And also in Niger State, they said abductees came onto a particular road, they said in Saminaka, and they were shooting sporadically in that area as well. They went into a nearby restaurant. They kidnapped a couple of women. As they were shooting, 2 of their bullets hit 2 fuel tanks, and that exploded. So they said that community is a small community. They're all in panic. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, so this story, men of the Ondo State Security Network Agency, also known as Amoteco, said they intercepted another 168 suspected invaders with charms in 2 trucks. 3 days ago, it was 151 suspected invaders who were coming in, and they said they were going to Ondo State. They were intercepted at Songo, and they had to profile the people, realized that they had no business in Ondo State, and so they led them back to where they were coming from. And just now, they have also gotten another 168, and they said that they had to, there was a way they arranged the truck. So they said about 40 motorcycles. They had 40 motorcycles, they had cows, the 168 men were concealed in between the motorcycles and the cows, and they were coming in. And so by the time they questioned them, they found that they had charms with them. They asked them what they were coming to do, and they said they just wanted to move. They had no relatives here, they had no business here. And so Amoteco is crying out and saying that there's a lot of influx of people coming into the western states from the north with no clear cut intention of where to stay, what to do, and they're just coming in.
So that's always happened, though. But let's not, because so these are normal migrants. They come, we see them all the time. They come to us for a better.
They're not migrants even. They're citizens of Nigeria. So
no. But if you have to move, do you have to be sandwiched? Yeah, exactly.
Because when we have insecurity, we find out they say that they are external.
Yeah, thank you. Let's move on quickly to the Sun, Daily Sun. IPOB names Edoziem as Nnamdi Kanu's replacement. 2023, Atiku Wike peace talks shaky. Nigeria's economy in bad shape, UNDP. Nigerian bank credits to private sector hits 5 trillion in 12 months. Insecurity, Ohaneze knocks Buhari. Terrorists set diesel tanks ablaze in Niger. Buhari consents to indigenous companies' acquisition of Mobile. Nigerians soon to get COVID-19 shots at doorstep, says federal government. Flood kills 3, displaces 495 families in Kano. Soyinka flays viral video of pirate confraternity song mocking Tinubu. What stories do we have in the Sun?
Okay, so I have the Buhari consents to the acquisition of ExxonMobil shares by Seplat Energy. So ExxonMobil has sold the shares of the United States of America in their JV assets with the NNPC, and Seplat acquired those assets. Seplat is a local an indigenous company, Seplat Energy Offshore Limited, and they've acquired the shares. This has gone both ways. Some people are commending the acquisition, some people are against, but the president has consented to it.
Okay. Any other story in this one?
COVID. So Nigerians will soon get COVID-19 shots at their doorstep. So the federal government has launched what it calls SCALES, SCALES 3.0 National Strategy Program. This is designed to facilitate COVID-19 vaccinations and other immunizations across the country using the platform of primary healthcare centers. And then eventually this would lead to, so you would go to your primary healthcare centers for vaccinations and immunizations, just like you do for the other vaccines. But with COVID, when they get to that point, they also hope that eventually they'll be able to go doorstep to doorstep, like they do with polio and other vaccines. So it's much closer to people. The SCALES 3.0 is just talking about the strategy that the government is using to make sure that these vaccinations and immunizations get to people wherever they are.
And that's amazing. Quickly, Ohanes Ndibo is fuming, and they're asking President Muhammadu Buhari to find a solution to the widespread security threat across the country rather than blame Southeast leaders for the insecurity in their region. It says when insecurity happens in other parts of the country, nobody is saying those elders should talk to their people. But when it happens in the Southeast, that's what the president keeps saying. But he should take insecurity as a problem that is affecting everybody and deal with it, basically.
An attack happened in Niger State. 2 diesel tankers were set ablaze. So
let's quickly move on to the Vanguard. I'm fully in charge of Rivers, Wike tells adversaries. WAEC withholds 365,564 results. Federal government releases Dariye in Yame from Kuje prison. UK Museum to return 72 looted Benin artifacts. Nigeria not meeting oil production quota. Federal government cries out. Man, LCCI to federal government. Rising debt, threatening economy. Blame federal government for Imo killing, says Ohanize IPOB, ADF. What stories do we have in the Vanguard?
Okay, so Dariye and, Joshua Dariye and Johnny Yami are former governors of 2 northern states, Plateau and Taraba.
Yes.
They've been in detention since they were sentenced to jail for corruption, and they've been in detention, but presidential pardon has shot their release. They were released yesterday alongside 3 others who were released from other prisons.
Wow.
But we thank the Lord. I just want to say,
I remember our outrage, but obviously our outrage didn't mean anything.
They've already been pardoned, they've been dailies. But the thing I'd like to see, I've seen their pictures before they went to prison. I'd like to see their pictures to see if they were
actually in prison.
People said they did not look like they were in prison. Let me take the governor of Benue State story. We are not fighting corruption based on the president's action. The governor of Benue State has written to the president that he needs help in fighting insecurity within the state, and he's asking for the president to give permission to the newly established security outfit within Benue State called Benue State Community Volunteer Guards, inaugurated last week, to carry firearms. He discloses on Monday paying host to delegation from the Northern Christian Women's Coalition in Makurdi, and he said that they've created a legitimate process to recruit people into the security outfit, and the goal is to restore peace in the troubled parts of the state. So he's now asking the president that they would like the president to give permits to this new security outfit to be able to carry guns. He said, according to him, the volunteer guards were not established for political purpose ahead of 2023, but to help secure and protect the lives of citizens of Benue.
All right, let's quickly move on to the Tribune, and I'll just highlight the stories that haven't been taken. Internal crisis forces PDP to postpone NEC. Minister, agency flex muzzle over sale of ExxonMobil shares to Seplat. Autumn writes Buhari, 6 firearm permits for newly established security outfit. I think that's the only story that we have not taken here. Who has that story? Bauchi, Gombe, Kano, Adamawa, Zamfara yet to domesticate Child Rights Act.
Yeah.
Which stories are we taking?
So I'll take the UNICEF story. So the UNICEF congratulated Kebbi State government for signing into law the state's Child Rights Bill passed by the state's House of Assembly, and they congratulated and commended them for being the 31st Nigerian states to do that so far. And that leaves Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Kano, Zamfara who are yet to pass that into law in their own state. And I hope that this will, I want to use this platform to call out to these states. Why are you reluctant and hesitating on doing what is important for children? UNICEF puts in a lot of work to see that the rights of children are protected, and this bill goes a long way in ensuring that. And I feel that these states should not be seen to be lagging behind when it comes to matters of child's rights.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper segment. When we come back, we take a sponsored segment from the MTN Foundation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show is the Executive Secretary, MTN Foundation, Odoayo Sonya. We also have the DG, Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NIMA, Professor Babatunde Salako. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. So let's talk about the MTN Foundation and your relationship with NIMA. What's this all about?
Well, the MTN Foundation was established in 2004. We started operations in 2005. It was MTN's way of giving back to the communities that we operate. So MTN decided across all our opcos in other countries in Africa to set up MTN Foundation and to fund the foundation by up to 1% of its annual profit after tax every year. And so that's how come the MTN Foundation.
I'm sorry, I have to pause you there. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is best, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TV.
Welcome back. So I was asking a question initially. I said, tell us briefly about the MTN Foundation and your collaboration with NIMA.
The MTN Foundation, as the name tells, is MTN's structure for corporate social responsibility. The foundation was founded in 2004. We commenced operations in 2005, and it's been about 16 years since then. MTN funds the foundation with 1%, a dedicated commitment, I call it, of 1% of its annual profit, after tax. And so the foundation invests in areas of national priority and youth development. And under our national priorities portfolio, we have causes, we support health causes and community development causes. And that's where the link with NIMA, comes in. Okay. Sometime in 2020, when the COVID hit, we did get a request from NIMA to support the research of vaccines, of production of test kits through the procurement of a machine called the oligosynthesis machine. And that's how the journey started. And sometime last year in August, we were able to commission the laboratory. It's at the NIMA Institute in Yaba. And I must say that since then, a lot has happened. And so I'm sure Prof will tell us more about that.
Yeah, so let me come to Prof. Okay, you want to ask the question? Go ahead.
So, Prof, of course, oligosynthesis machine. I was just making a joke earlier. I said that I know of oligo marking in Taekwondo. Is when you block a punch coming, high. But what is oligosynthesis, and why did you need MTN's help?
Thank you very much. The oligosynthesis machine produces small fragments of, can say, artificial DNA or RNA polymers. Now, the DNA is the genetic makeup of an individual, and it's made up of nucleotides, and the nucleotides are arranged in a specific way for different people. Okay. It's the same thing for plants, for animals, and co. Now, for science to be able to get into the DNA, you need to then synthesize it artificially in a small portion, because the DNA could be very long. Okay. So you need an area of interest. So you synthesize, you design that area of interest artificially from foreknowledge, and then you ask the oligosynthesizer to produce that small one for you. With that small one, you can go to PCR and amplify that. And then you can use it for a particular purpose. For example, in producing diagnostic kits for COVID, there is a particular part of the DNA of the COVID virus, the spike protein. So that protein is studied, and then the nucleotides that made up that area is produced as a primer. And it is that primer that you use to diagnose the disease in samples.
Wow.
And it's also very useful when you are trying to produce vaccines, especially protein subunit vaccines. And then you can also use it in sequencing. If you find an unknown organisms and you are trying to determine the sequencing, you can put that sample in a known organism that you already have the primers, and then you put it and sequence it so that the sequencer can then sequence both the known and unknown, and you can determine that the DNA of that unknown. So that is how important production of primers and probes are.
With this oligosynthesis.
With the machine.
This is great news for Nigeria, I believe.
Seriously great news. In fact, I'm impressed. But do you have success stories?
Oh, yes. We got this over a year ago. And MTN has been supporting us in terms of ensuring training. We had some teaching issues, but eventually we have learned the art. and we started producing the primers. And I can say that apart from the ones we use in our institute, we've produced for other institutions.
Wow.
And they have also attest to the fact that these are good products coming on. For now, we are able to produce primers for monkeypox, for example.
I was going to ask.
So we can now create a kit for monkeypox and then diagnose it. And we've recently did primers for Ebola.
Fantastic.
Because we already know the sequence for Ebola. So we can, again, we also have primers for that. So if we have any outbreak now, we have primers to be able to
show it up.
So the beauty of it is that we should be able to make diagnosis of outbreaks in our environment
without relying
sending
on
it outside.
That's amazing. Miriam, you were going?
That's where I was going to ask that. So MTN has done a fantastic job of helping us not rely on other countries for this. And I hear, I don't know if you can clarify that we are the only country in West Africa to have this machine.
Well, let me say the only functioning one that we are aware of, in the West African sub-region. Ordinarily, during the pandemic, researchers have to they design their primers and then they send it outside the country. And you know what happened during the lockdown, and there were no flights coming.
Yes, there was nowhere to send.
We're just waiting. And for us, at that time when we were trying to design a kit, I remember 3 or 4 times when we had to produce one. It went to the US, went to South Africa before coming to Nigeria. I mean, there are temperature issues with some of these things. So sometimes by the time they come back, we are not getting what we had already designed or what they produced for us. But the beauty of it now is that we can go to the next door and produce it. If we use it and we are not getting the optimum report or results, we can always go back, redesign, and then reproduce.
So how expensive is this machine? For the kind of benefits that it has, you wonder.
Well, MTN has put in about 100 million to get the lab
100 million
Naira.
Okay, money to buy tickets.
To buy it, and training and some initial reagents. And we produce, we found the lab and other laboratory accessories that will be used in conjunction with the machine.
So let me come to you, Ma. What's your plan to sustain this development?
Well, the partnership has started, and I'm sure you will agree that is a testament to public-private sector partnership, one that can be successful. So for us, we would keep with it, stay with NIMA as a partner, because we believe that we can create new value chains. We can through this contribute to the economy.
Yes.
Where, a new value chain evolves. For instance, NIMA is planning to come up with, a website where they can take orders from across West Africa and all of that. So we believe that is the beginning of many, much more interesting things to come.
And that would even create more jobs for young people.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
And also a new career path for a lot of people.
A lot of young people.
Yes.
What's even more important is that there are many young scientists who needs to design some of these things for their own experiments. I mean, to be able to create new innovations and new knowledge. But the fact that they have to pay in foreign currency, the fact that they have to send it out before it comes, and then it takes weeks, sometimes months, it's slowing down the progress of research, especially in the area of life science around the country and around West African
Please,
sub-region.
DG, I need to say this. So many times we hear of how we get this huge, expensive equipment, and because it's government, over the years, we lose it. It's not properly maintained. Could you please tell us what your plan is to make sure that this is maintained and sustained and we can build up on this?
Yes, we apart from the fact that the main purpose is to support research, we also have a business plan that we have discussed with the MTN. And we believe that with that business plan and the little support the MTN has decided to give us to certain 1 year or 1.5 years or thereabout, that we should be able to maintain. We have a service agreement with the people, and of course with internet and all of that, we can, at a phone call, get across to the designer, the people who sold them for us. And whatever problems we have, we believe that we should be able to
can be resolved.
But
I'm sure MTN will also check.
Any plans to further this cause, this commendable cause, based on what he said too?
Well, like he said, we found that with NYMER, they pretty much operate like private sector.
Fantastic.
So they're clear KPIs, key performance indicators.
Good.
We meet, initially we used to meet almost every day. Now we've staggered it a bit. And so we're also putting in place, together with NYMER, certain indices that help us to measure. We're doing a lot of monitoring and evaluation on both, sides, and using the output to improve the process. Back to Nima's question around, of course, yes, it's a function of how we're able to move it forward. Prof has said, yes, we've seen the business model. And I alluded to new value chains.
Yes.
And it's strictly about the economics of it, really. Because only then can we make the impact, can we even create jobs for the younger people. So we believe that by the time this commercial plan kicks in, there's also some inflow of revenue that enables the lab to keep running. And so it becomes a gift that keeps giving.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We hope to hear more of what MTN is doing, also the foundation is doing in other aspects of the society, and how you're going to keep collaborating with NYMER. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to our top stories. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC.
Thanks for staying with us. So singer and songwriter Oluwatobiloba Daniel, aka Kizz Daniel, has been allegedly arrested in Tanzania after failing to show up for a paid concert in the country. Fans of the singer who had gathered at the venue of the advertised show in Tanzania left in anger and trashed the place after he failed to show up, according to the viral videos that we have seen. So there are different stories, around social media on why Kizz Daniel did not show up for this concert. And I would like Miriam to help us with some of the things you've heard.
So yesterday also there was a viral video going around that showed, what's his name, Daddy Freeze interviewing, I think, the promoter of the show, who claimed that he had put in about $60,000 for that particular show. He gave the prices of the tables, really expensive show, He said a lot of money went into it. But Kizz Daniel claimed that his luggage had not come in, and in his luggage was a particular chain he liked to wear whenever he performs. And if he didn't have that, he would not perform. They said they begged him, they had tears in their eyes begging him because of what they had put down, and people were so upset. Anyway, the police took him. But what we hear is that he's been released, and his lawyers will go back to the police station to finish the conversation on this.
Okay, so the conversation now is you were paid for a concert to come and perform. And instead of coming to perform, you had one excuse. No matter the excuse, you had an excuse, you didn't perform. Fans in anger decided to destroy the place because they did not see the person they had paid to come and watch. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation on 081-270-53687, or you can tweet us at TVC Connect using the Your View on TVC hashtag and join the conversation. So my question is, because when I was reading, I saw some things where some Nigerians were saying that this has been the norm for him in a place like Nigeria, where he's been paid to come perform, and then he won't show up, or he will show up late and they'll have to beg him to come on stage. And now he has carried the behavior to a place like Tanzania, and this is the outcome of it. When you heard this, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Okay, so we know that he has been on our airwaves back to back recently, and we're all celebrating his songs, and every time there's a celebration, his song is the first one we play. And I remember one time, I think he had mentioned that he was looking forward to someday be able to play this song at an international world event, like a World Cup or something. And even in my mind, I was waiting, you know, as I saw Toby and Musa and all the other ladies winning things, I'm like, very soon his dream will come true. And, you know, it just looks like a clear path. But the truth is that on our journey to success, we must be ready to be disciplined, to have integrity, to show up when we say we'll show up. And, you know, this will cost him a lot. It will cost him other deals, bigger platforms, because he has shown that he cannot be trusted in little. I hope we hear from him and hear why that particular chain was important to him. I know of celebrities, actors, you know, boxers, people who wear the same underwear for many years because that's the only, to go into the ring for boxers, because that's the like only, that's a good luck charm. Some of them will wear socks. Footballers are known to wear a particular socks that they've worn since they started their football career. So I don't know if that was the sort of hold it has on him, but knowing that money was put into this, there are consequences for every action. You know that money has been paid. What do you want these promoters to do? And if you cannot show up, you must be willing to come before people and apologize.
And refund their money. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Okay, Nima's ready. Go ahead. Okay, so I followed this trend on Twitter, and somebody carefully just showed pictures that shows that this person is always needed as a substance to balance up. So this tweet showed him while walking around with a glass in his hand, obviously. So there was also suggestions online that he didn't perform because he didn't get the needed high to perform. To get on stage. Now, this is what breaks my heart, because I don't have a lot of music artists that I farms, but this one, I farms because I saw his pedigree when he had those legal issues with his earlier label. I read that, you know, he was well read. He's not one of those who skipped school, who don't have a school record. Someone said he had a 2-1. One of these blogs said he had a 2-1. He went to school. When his father passed, they wrote about, you know, he comes from a balanced background. You'd expect some form of responsibility. Yeah. And I'm not talking about money alone. When you enter into contracts, you just must perform. Also, when you enter into contracts and people are looking up, so the farms that scattered the place in Tanzania said they paid as high as $5,000 per table. Wow. These were people, and you're at the height of your career, you're trending, people love you. Humility, just small like this. Just add it. You add to this fame, and you're going to go places. You're going to blow. He's an A-list artist, whether he likes it or not. He's in the league of the Wizkids and all of that around the world. And if you're looking at African countries as the place where you can abuse contracts, and, you know, nothing will happen. The sad part is that they say the promoter of this show is a Nigerian who was trying his first hand. I mean, the organizer of this show was trying his organizing big show, like at the first one outside the country, rather not to compete with other, you know, of such people here. And so he did such an event where $300,000 was expended, and, you know, you just decided, you just want, you know, I can just not show up. If nothing at all was paid, let's assume that the organizers were owing you. What can you do for your fans who have gathered to see you? How do you balance things? Before you decide not to show up, it will be that, you know, over and over, the promoters, all the organizers of such shows have defaulted. But you will put your... Tiwa Savage, when we read about Tiwa's story, when she broke up with her husband, when he attempted suicide and all of those stories, when she came out to that side of, you know, the several years of abuse, she would perform, not knowing, believing that they will pay at the end of the show, whereas her husband would have collected up front all the money and moved on. And she would still perform.
Not once did she stand down her audience. And that's how you rise to fame. We need to talk to these our people, these our bros who are up and down, you know, blowing. Somebody needs to sit them down. And I know Kizz Daniel is from a family, because I read when his father died about him. He's from a family that grounded. Somebody should sit in there and tell him, you better sit up and give yourself some sense.
I'm telling you.
And drop that cup you're holding up and down.
Collect the cup from him.
Collect that cup from him. Let him start to use his sense that he used to get a 2-1 to handle life.
I agree with you, Nima.
The truth is, fame is intoxicating. You know, it's when you become famous, your ego gets bloated, and it takes a lot to remain grounded. And very many, especially within the music industry, miss it because it is just so much high. The energy from people, the love from people, the attention. You just feel like you are larger than life. But guys, it's so fleeting. You are just as good as your last hit.
Yeah.
And people still don't get it because in that moment, this is his time. He's had hits back to back for the past 5 years, and he has missed several shows for flimsy excuses. He was paid to perform in Babcock, he did not show up, but because he has hits, they'll still call him. There are some artists that don't have hits in the past few years, and they still get to perform because of the person they are. If people hail you now, they are hailing you because of this momentary high of the songs you are singing. In 10, 20 years' time, you don't have any hit. What will people say about you?
Forget you
It is extremely important for people not to let fame get into their head. We need to say it over and over again because it happens to several people. So I like Nima's point of view in that many of our artists perform under the influence of drugs. And we cannot deny it. Whether drugs and alcohol, whether substance, under substance. Different grades. They blow it. They all do it on social media. You see people rapping joints and smoking online. It's a norm. I was a makeup artist for many years, and my primary job was to do makeup for music artists. I used to do music videos. They cannot even shoot their videos without being high. And so we're talking about people who are addicts. They say we love it, but we must always realize that they are addicts. And a lot of them need to get help.
They need help.
But because they are under this heavy and performing, you are flying to Joburg today, from Joburg to Zambia, from Zambia to UK, they are perpetually pumping themselves with all sorts to continue to perform.
To sustain the pressure.
There is something wrong. And all of us just celebrate because we love the songs, but we're not dealing with the real issues. There's a problem. How can a chain keep you from performing when you're being paid? Then you should know that it's not a chain. There is more to it than chain. There's a problem. And until we start addressing the drug abuse, the substance abuse in our celebrities, in our artists.
But let us remember that this is still an allegation.
Yes.
But I'm going to say. Okay.
We're talking generally.
The allegation is that it's not an allegation that he did not perform. It's not an allegation. He was built to perform, he did not perform. And he's had several other cases where he was built to perform and did not perform. So this is not the first time he's doing it. That part is not an allegation. Drug abuse, substance abuse is not an allegation. We see red cup is not water. And everything, Red cup is not water. We see them carrying the cup everywhere. So it is. We should address the different layers of issues. And when the higher you rise to the top, and I'll just rest after this, the higher you rise to the top, you must surround yourself with people who can check you, who can hold you back. If not, you go lost.
I love that talk, man. Surround yourself with people who can check you and hold you back. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we open our phone lines and take some messages. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our...
Thanks for staying with us. So still on the conversation about Kizz Daniel, there's something I usually tell young people around me, that talent is never enough. No matter how talented you are, and you don't work on your character, you don't build your character, you don't build that honesty, you don't build that integrity, it will get to a point where it will bring you down, and then you start calling village people. And these village people we call, there are no village people that are, stoking the fire and trying to pull you down. It's your character, it's your attitude. Now, I want to come to the ladies. What are some of the things that you have seen with people who suddenly become, not suddenly, you've worked hard, but then the fame is coming and then they can no longer handle it? What are some of the things we can begin to do for them to support them so that they can get help? Around us. Let's start from around us.
Okay, so starting from around, I'll just deviate a bit, but it has to do with, especially growing here in Nigeria, in the Nigerian environment. Someone posted something that many Nigerians his arrest, Kizz Daniel's arrest, is a proof that a lot of us won't survive working outside of Nigeria. There's a Nigerianness in the way we do things. Someone is supposed to be at work and the person does not show up at the time or 2 hours after, and then when you finally read the person, I'm not feeling fine now. Do you understand? It's like, what do you expect me to do? And if you insist on someone doing their job, they become upset at you.
Yeah.
Like, why would you ask them to do it in a certain, meanwhile, it was there written down that this is what you're meant to do. There's that Nigerianness that we do with each other. And in other places, it shows that there are consequences for our actions. So that's that community. First of all, we need to change that mindset here in Nigeria, where we feel that because when we're doing a job, we are doing somebody a favor. When you're being paid to do something, you must make sure that you do it according to the books. Never always come with excuses. That's another thing I say a lot of young people do. That's excuses we like to give. Yes, but it rained yesterday. You knew it was about to rain. What did you do to make sure that you were able to deliver without the rain affecting it or affecting it too much? It's always easier to come up with excuses. So with young people, I think, remember that in the little, wherever you are right now, in the little that you have, you need to do your best, because that is your report card for when you go for bigger stuff.
Fantastic, Miriam. Let's take this call. Elton from Abuja. Good morning, Elton.
Good morning. This is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, speaking of this Kizz Daniel's issue, I think this is not the first time Kizz is doing this. And referring it to drug abuse, of course, a lot of our artists take drugs, and I'm not trying to defend this, it's wrong. But this one has nothing to do with drug abuse at all. I feel this particular one is the artist. I think this particular one is the artist. Because we see something from our artists. We see when they're blowing up, they blow from Nigeria to Africa, from Africa to US and UK, and then they go into Netherlands, Portugal, and the rest. But this particular one, I feel it is Kizz himself. He should work on himself, because we've seen Davido, we've seen Wizkid, we've seen Burna Boy, we've seen how they've excelled in this same industry from Nigeria to Africa, and he's in Africa. I'm not going to say he's where those ones are. If you're talking about the payment, a few months ago, Davido said he performed in Netherlands, and the show promoter has not still paid him after about a week after performing. But he has performed and he has left. He has gone on to perform in other shows. And you should just put your fans, put the amount of money that you spend, and put your name as the artist.
Thank you so much. We'll have another caller quickly before I come to you. Abdul, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, sir.
Yes, on this Kizz matter, it was completely very unprofessional. Nobody does that. It was very unprofessional. He has taken money to perform a show. No matter what happens, he has to appear on that stage.
Oh, I think we lost that.
I was going to talk about, the legality of this. Someone had tweeted yesterday also that they shouldn't have been arrested. It was a civil issue. He's breaching his contract to perform or not to perform was a civil issue. But the arrest that he started, the whole scattered. He broke public property due to his action. That's a criminal issue. Whatever they consider public disorder in their laws, and the cause of it is different. And so that is a matter that can be addressed by the police, because of course it was released yesterday. He was even allowed, according to tweets, that to come back to Nigeria while his legal team handles what is left. So probably they're staying back to deal with the other party. He wanted to refund. So it would have been a different thing if he was stuck here due to maybe there was a lockdown, COVID, any other thing.
Flight cancellations, yeah.
But if you have landed, that means you are taking care of all the frustrations. If a fire happened at the hall, then it's beyond you. But you were in the country and you looked at the people and you decided, you just look black, you're not white. Because if it was in the America, they are not here.
This will not happen.
That is US store. You can't sue any parts. They are not here. That is UK store. When they were all competing for, what's that public called? O2 Arena. When all of them were competing for how many people covered the hall, he went to. He did not disappoint his organizers at the time. So a lot of times, is this... We need to clear this mentality. People are people. And when you owe them, you owe them.
Irrespective of their color.
Mention an important issue. There's a responsibility to work. I remember when I joined this show, at my auditions, I was asked, where are you coming from? I said, Satellite Town. Somebody said, Jumoke even asked me after my first audition that, are you sure you want to do this work? Your excuse, and the producer told me, your resumption time is 7 a.m. For a show that was 9 a.m. and I had a little daughter. I put it in my left hand. I didn't want to default. If I tell you when I used to leave the house and leave my daughter to make it to the show, that's responsibility, because I didn't want to hear tomorrow for one excuse or the other, and it remained a character. I also recently employed someone and I said to her, you have children? She said, yes. I said, okay, this work involves you coming into my personal space. How will you handle your children? She said, no, there's somewhere she keeps them. I said, oh, no, guys.
Will you bring them?
Should you bring them? Because I know myself. I easily get interested. I want to start before
paying school fees.
Boundaries don't.
Let me pause you a bit, Nima. Let's take this call. Ukoma from Abakaleke. Good morning.
Morning. Yeah. Am I on to your view?
Yes, you are.
Yes. People are doing a marvelous job. I'm meeting you for the second time after a whole year. I've been trying virtually every year.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'm not carried away by your smiles on people. Now, let's go straight to Daniel is working with the two things. That makes him a fake a fake performance. Because if it is real self, he cannot, stop performing because of ordinary pain. In fact, for him, that pain is not ordinary. Yes, that's the meaning of it. And the people like you, are performers on TV, tell me how many times you go to drink Tai before coming to perform.
We're naturally high. Oh, we lost that. Set up where, please, your thoughts.
I wanted to talk about, I know we've all of us have spoken about the issue of integrity, the issue of responsibility, trust, the issue of responsibility, the issue of keeping your word. But many celebrities do this thing. The caller said Wizkid did not fail. Wizkid, we cannot count several shows did not perform. Both Nigeria and even outside Nigeria. Wizkid's first show in Zimbabwe, it did not show up, and it was in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
So it's even outside Nigeria, these things happen and they don't show up. We've had celebrities that I know Amy Winehouse, late Amy Winehouse had a lot of cases where she didn't show up, and they later found out after she passed on that she was battling a lot of issues. And it had to do with drugs. It had to do with drugs. And because of inability of drugs or overdose of drugs made her not show up for many performances. So if we dig deep into this issue, we are going to be dealing with the issue of many people need to register in, for what do you call that stuff? Rehab. That's aside from pure indiscipline. Now, Nima mentioned the legal ramification. Before any contract, before you pay someone to show up, you must sign a bit of contract. And there are rules and there are laws. At first, when I saw that they said the audience started destroying the facility, I felt, Africa started again. But I checked online. Oyinbos too destroy facility. They destroy facility when artists don't come to perform because they are enraged. They've raised expectation. They showed up, cleared their schedule, paid. Even if they're going to get a refund, it will take a while. There are people need to understand. People travel for this trip. Some people travel out of states to attend. Maybe they're not living in Lagos. They come to Lagos just for an event. Too many things are at stake for somebody to just not show up like that. It must either be a life and death situation. And for artists, people respect you when you show up. There are artists that they tell you, people talk about Beyonce's work ethic. The level before any show. Excellent. Like, what's going on? She prepares for the show like this is life and death. And that's the way we must put in our work. Put excellence into your work. Talent will take you so far. It is your character that will sustain that growth. So for me, this is a no-no, and we must frown against it as well as all other artists who do it.
Yeah, so let me ask this question. I know that growing up, managers used to have like a say with their artists. They were that strong enough to say, this is the expectation, they will push you to do the work. What is happening with the managers of today? Did the management not know that if there is no necklace, this guy will not perform and provide it?
Has left one management before.
Is he on his own now?
That management sued him. It took him a while. So I don't know who's managing him presently, but I think he's more in control than the management team that he has now. He had he used to sing the name of that management team, and that management team sort of controlled him, and he didn't like it. But apparently, you see, somebody who needs control. He does need control. Right? Also, whether or not there's a contract you sign, costs are put into the organizing of events. You know that at that hall, not only will people pay to sit, caterers would have been paid, who would have been paid, people that bought stands and all of that. There's a lot of legal consequences of it. To it, whether written or not, because this attitude of Nigeria will just give you your money back. Doesn't take care of anything. The security that they would have put in place to get that place secure enough for you to come in would have cost that organizer something. I wish that organizer, this is not because I don't like Kizz Daniel, just so that we'll set a proper precedent of what a working society looks like. In Nigeria here, when artists default, the management just go back, they do party, they settle the things outside, don't worry, just organize 2 others. No. Somebody should take them to court and say, this is how much I have invested. And this is what it cost me for you not to perform. This was my projected profit.
That's it.
And this projected profit was so and so amount. The court, under equity, would award it clear if you're able to prove it, if your lawyer head correct. You will collect your money so that artist next time, when he now sees the consequence, because if you were seeing these things, court processes abroad with artists, when you see the consequence of it, what's his name? One rapper artist, he went bankrupt on this kind of things. He did it too many times. They emptied the guy. He declared bankruptcy.
You don't try this in some places. Yeah, go ahead,
you had mentioned talent is not enough, and I think that we should reiterate that. Work ethic. For a lot of the international stars that we enjoy today and we celebrate today, and they have shown consistency and, timelessness over time, is much more than their talent, much more about their work ethic than it is about their talent. Beyonce is known to give it her all. Creatively, physically, she is there. I recently saw a short clip of Chris Brown performing, and while he was performing, his trousers split. He did not get down the stage. He did not say, no, I cannot use this trouser. He took off his shirt, tied it around his waist, and continued moving. Recently, he was also shown that a lot of people paid like thousands of dollars to see him, to do a meet and greet with Chris Brown. And he took really, some people maybe overly personal pictures. And he said, yes, these people paid a lot of money and they wanted to take pictures with me, and I gave them the free hand to do, because he understands that people are paying for this. This is a service. He's not entitled. I'm not Mr. Chris Brown, all famous star, and so some people are unimportant to me. As long as this person is paying you for a service, you must make sure that you give them the service. Our work ethic is so important. It reflects in so many things, not just entertainment and TV. In our politics, in our governance, in our schools, in our education, in our healthcare, is that same attitude that would show in everything. The sort of leaders that we elect into office. This shows how we respond during election period. Do we register? Do we go and vote? Do we make sure that we're there? So those are the things, whether we like it or not. The way that we're carrying on in small things, in things that reflects in everything we do. It reflects in our parenting as well, how we are raising our children.
Wow.
So in the end, as what Mariah always like to say, is it's like it's about us. We the people.
Yeah, we the people. Let's take this call. Priye from Bielsa. Good morning, Priye.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I listened to your program, and I love it. What's happening in Tanzania? It's also unfortunate for celebrities. I think what I want to really know is why it was arrested is one thing, and secondly, is it because of the change that will prevent enough from coming to the show? And such things keep occurring because I know I booked a show whereby the celebrities were expected to perform that day. Not show up, and he was charged and was paid. He paid the money that was asked to pay. Now, on Tanzania's own, it's outside Nigeria. There should be a proper agreement from the manager or the organizer before such events. So when such things occur like this, because the excuse is not enough unless it involves maybe a death situation. No matter somebody like friends or whatever that needs not to perform. But any other excuses that he give is not enough. And I'm seeing it on Twitter and even on Facebook what he did. Everybody is going against him. What he did is totally unacceptable to the public, to the fans, to the managers, to the Nigerian celebrities.
Yeah.
Many of them are doing it. If you look at the level of celebrities that are doing those things, there are those ones that are already in a high level. If you call a young celebrity who is hungry to make money, is hungry to become somebody tomorrow, not do such a thing. But these people are celebrities.
They are hustling.
Thank you so much, Priye.
I want to quickly respond to what Priye said, that you must have everything written down. Even in law, not all contracts are written down. Some performances can insinuate a return duty. So he was paid in full. That's all you need to hear in this matter. If the $60,000 in question that we hear was the amount paid, was even part payment, that's trouble. If you have received something to show up, you go show up. Plane must crash for you not to show. Something must happen. Something strong enough not to allow you even arrive is what will tell you or prevent you from performing your end. And non-performance has its consequences in anything. And I want to quickly say this as the last thing. If you become an artist, even those of us, I personally, No, I have friends who ground me. They are life coaches. They have all the books and all of them. I have a psychologist. I just play around to her office when I think I'm overwhelmed. I Maryland and say, sis, I'm dealing with this. So she helps me, get my legs on the ground again. And then I'm continuing with the pressures of work. So we know these pressures happen. Find someone, set up your own team. You have the money to do that. A team that knows when to say, can you do a one-on-one where you excel and push out the stress and go back and you're grounded and you're doing the right thing. Very important.
Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours.
Thanks for staying with us. Still on this conversation, there's a letter here, I think written by the management, the people who invited Kizz Daniel to perform, and they're saying that's a Big Step Consultancy. And they're saying they wish to apologize to the public for what happened at the Summer Amplified concert slated for Sunday, August 7th, 2022, where the headliner artist Kizz Daniel, who was fully paid, failed to perform as planned. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience this caused our customers who trusted us and supported our event, partnered with stir it up vibes. So the letter went on to talk about how they are going to try and compensate their customers who had paid and ensured them to... Go ahead.
So there's an insider story I heard from, you know, while at the shrine once, about when YK's mother died. The morning of that day, Femi was billed to perform at the Okoya concert. And his mother died. He went, he performed. And at the end of the concert, he announced to the audience that I lost my mother this morning. People were shocked. People couldn't balance it. That's responsibility. He was grieving. That could have even, because he was in Nigeria, that would have even allowed, you know, people's sentiments and say, justified. But he went there. And you see how he's, even when the market wasn't that ripe here, he sustained his career everywhere in the world because he will show up and he will perform his own end of things. People suffer issues every day, but I cannot understand something that shows every time as if you are not on your own self, you are not in control of yourself, as if you're a substance abuser. So while you just turn down events.
Yeah, like all of this is still basically an allegation, and we expect that Kizz Daniel comes up with an explanation of why what happened. However, whether it's reasonable or not, we'll be the ones to determine that. But let him come up with, you know, explaining to the people why what happened. And I remember that back in the days when we're doing our beauty pageantry and all that, even if your sandal cuts on stage, the show must go on. They train you that the show, entertainment, the show must go on. No matter what happens, you must appear at the time you're expected to appear. But let me bring it down to what affects us, because what we do here is to pick the stories and highlight some of the ways that we can begin to improve ourselves in every other aspect of life. This issue of late coming, because you are a celebrity, an event is supposed to be starting for 12. You will not show up till 6 p.m. because you don't want to perform in an empty hall. And then the fans too know that show is for 12. Artists will not come up till like 9 p.m. They will start showing up by 7, 8 p.m. Is it not a way of showing that we do not have integrity? We are not disciplined as a people? I remember there was a time I taught in an international school and we're supposed to do a graduation ceremony. And the time was for 9 a.m. So I invited my hubby at the time, we're not married, to come. And in his mind, he felt if this is going to be starting for 9, he will show in by 12. 9, bam, that was the first time I was experiencing it. The event started, 10, the event was over. When he came, we had packed up.
We don't pack share.
I was like, I said, yes, in this school, they keep to time. When I was a music performer, when I go for events, I'm always the first artist to come early. And some people say it's because you are just starting. But I love that. It's a part of me. I don't function well when I'm late. So I come in early. How do we start changing the narrative of African time? It's embarrassing.
So AMVCA made a huge impact. AMVCA, because it's being broadcast live, they don't, when they shut the door, they shut the door. If you come, after they have shut the door, you cannot enter. And it was a shocker because the first ever AMVC, some celebrities could not get into the hall. Even because in the invite they had said is that this event, the red carpet is 6 to 7 p.m. 6 to 7 p.m. is red carpet. 8 o'clock, we go live. You cannot be opening the hall, walking around when we are already live. And because they had created that system, it works. I attend a lot of comedy shows, and you don't go early for comedy shows. Even though when they are marketing the Kiniko Live, Comedy Kiniko, they would put 8 p.m. there, just prepare to go by 11.
Why?
Especially when it is now artists doing their, you know, those something storming leg. I don't want to call any artist name, but they always start like that. They come extremely late. We stopped going for shows because when you go for those shows, maybe they would reserve Whiskey to be the last performance. Whiskey to perform at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. And people are already tired. You already sleeping. You've been there since 9 p.m. But they will reserve Whiskey. They will reserve those artists for like
the end of the show.
Let me pause you a bit. Let's take this call. Odafe from Abuja. Good morning, Odafe. Hello. I don't think it's there. So, Tope?
So, for me, I feel that it's about timing. If we agree that this is showtime, it is showtime. For speaking engagements, there was this conference I was called to come and speak at, and because I felt like this is the time they put there, we'll show up early. We got there early at the right time. I was supposed to speak at 10. They said the event would start at 9, so I got there 9:30. That okay. event had started. I would come for my speaking. I would leave 30 minutes after. When we got there, they had not started any part of the event. And it was a speaking, and I already had another thing scheduled. It was Akomojo. I was supposed to finish that one and come to Ikeja for another one at 12. So I had a packed day. I didn't speak at that event because I had to meet another appointment. And the second appointment was a church. They were disciplined. Many churches, my church, many churches are clear with their time. If you are late, you have missed the service. You will come when they are doing grace. So it is about... We have accepted it from celebrities. We have accepted it from this industry. And as long as we continue to accept it, it will be the norm. The industries where they've said no, the places where they've said no, you can, no matter how big you are, you cannot go to the bank at 5:30 and say you want to go. It's just, this is the system.
Airport,
so,
you miss your flight.
Any celebrity, as big as they are, they should stroll to the airport 5 minutes to when they are supposed to go. They cannot, they won't make it into the flight.
It's a culture. And what we allow, before we know it becomes a norm around us, we just do it. In the early days, now I select events. When you send me an event, see whether your organizers even have the honorarium ahead of time. Because now from there you go know.
Whether they are organized or not.
I'm telling you, there was an event they organized somewhere on the island, on Lagos Island, just behind the Muson Center, one hall. And I arrived. I came with 2 of my younger ones. One was a PA, the other one a younger sister. And you know, we sat there. I'm not a breakfast person. Till longer finished me.
Wow.
The audience were arriving. In fact, they were tying balloon. Yes, that's just one of many. You know,
they came to work.
And I'm a morning person. If you call me for an event, I'll leave home 6 a.m. because if I fail to leave home by that time, I might just not be able to make your event. There'll be traffic. I would come in early. I would appreciate I finish at the time they wrote 10 to 12 or 10 to 2. My plan was 2, I'm home. Truly, I didn't have anything to do, but I just wanted to get home in time, cuddle my babies, let them know mommy's still around for the weekend. Don't come and tell me one thing. Then when you have given me that and I'm giving you an attitude that I need to leave now. You're not making, I'm begging you, we're begging you. No, she gave us an attitude. It's a Nigerian thing. You know, we're even apologizing to her. When she came, she saw us, we were rushing. And somebody was saying that, and the other person was listening, and the person did not say, are you okay?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you ask her, do you know where she's coming? Did you ask her what she had?
Well,
was
what
she
time
there
did you even put there? And
I had more than 3 hours in my car, running my AC and my fuel, waiting for an unpaid event. And I thought, you know, I held
Sister,
that responsibility. Nice. So no, we don't do one now. Come to me. No, in the early days of your view, we attended a lot. You know now.
Yes.
No, I did my own fair share of
comedy shows. So you know why I stopped attending comedy shows? I used to attend. My husband used to love just evening out.
Yeah.
I tire. I'll be at an event and the comedy was supposed to start. They will now be putting the small people we don't know. I know it's good to give them platform. Put them as part of the program.
Yeah, in between.
You know, you will sit there, and you see Nigeria strictly in, knowing that the main people they came to see will come in late.
How do we change this? Because, I don't know, we're trying to build a country that everything just works. And it has to start from excellence. I always tell people around me, whatever you are given to do, you must do it. I had a job recently where in the middle of the job, some things were changed. Normal me, as I did vex rich, I would have just walked away. But because my name was involved, I said, okay, they've made the changes. How do I double up so that I can meet up? Because my name is involved. How do we begin to build that legacy? And these are some of the ways that we can, you know, give our final thoughts before we close for the day. Time has already gone. But how do we begin to build? How do we begin to find that intentionality? So you know that once my name is involved, people have to know me for this. People know me right now that I come early anywhere I go. From the time, maybe they will say because I've not blown. But I don't think I'm going to change because it's already a habit, and it's your habit that trickles down to what becomes your character. How do we begin to instill this? So you go for an event that, whether it's paid or not, and they don't start on time, can you take a walk?
Consequences. That's it.
Thank you, Miriam.
If there are consequences for any action, you would adjust. So it's either you pay the fine, you pay the bill, or you make sure you show up on time. Abroad, if there's a breach of contract, you pay. If you cannot pay, you end up in jail until such a time as you can pay. Simple and short. If you're invited for an event, if you go late, you get there, the door is closed in your face, and there's nothing you can do, you go home. the next event that you're invited for, you will do better. That's it. There has to be consequences. That begging for everything, like we do concerning everything in Nigeria, is what has caused us this. In traffic, someone takes a wrong turn. Everybody knows that this person is wrong, but we'll all wait for that person to take a turn on the highway that is not supposed to take and let him go. And then you, God help you, you that you're insisting that that is the wrong thing, and that person, everybody will be insulting you. What's wrong with you? Let him go, blah, blah, blah. So there are no consequences for bad behavior, and that's why we see it. I'll mention it again, and that's why we see it at the helms of affairs. That's why we see it as it affects us in important things. That's it.
I want to talk about integrity. I want to talk about keeping your word and the struggle to keep your word. It will cost you. I have mentors within my real estate industry, and there were challenges last year. Many people that were supposed to deliver houses had delays. And I had people that will come and tell you, either take refund or you pay the adjusted price. But I had a set of people that were my mentors that insisted that even though it was a huge loss for them, they delayed in delivering the houses, but they didn't ask for extra money because the agreement was pay this amount of money for this 3-bedroom. Even though to deliver that 3-bedroom is costing almost twice the amount of money based on the cost of everything that had happened, they delivered that 3-bedroom at the initial price. It is not convenient, but if you've already given your word, you must always show up. Because if you don't keep your word, then you have nothing. Nothing. There is nothing to you if I cannot hold you at your word. And I like as Mariam keeps throwing the thing back to our leaders, because it happens there too. When you don't keep your word at that place, a lot of our policies change.
That's the norm.
That's the norm. Policies change. You say that this is what you're going to do. Foreign direct investment has dropped. Why? The investors don't trust that the president will not wake up tomorrow and change the policy. And they will not say, this thing that we want to do, we don't want to do it again. We have cancelled the contract. This sale of refinery, we know they sell them again. We can't just, by whims, change our decisions, because there's impact on this thing. People's lives are at stake, and the impact is long-term, which is what we're suffering in Nigeria right now.
Let's take this call from Ade. Good morning. Abdul.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Abdul.
Yes, this idea of coming late for shows, I think the whole industry must look at themselves and blame themselves for it. Both the promoters who come very late to do their sound check, and the musicians. The musicians are given time of performance, they don't come. I was at a show where Lauryn Hill was performing at the coast. Lauryn Hill, the American superstar. She was given 9 p.m. At 9 p.m. she went on that stage. The promoters were telling her, no, don't go on that stage because people are not there. Say, that's their business. I've been given 9 p.m. to perform. And she went on stage, performed at 9 p.m. By the time she was getting down the stage, that's when the people started coming. But she was done. That's professionalism. We all need to insist that this is time. Time bound. Everything has to be time bound. Like in the live concert that Topper was talking about. Yes, live concert, they have advertised the show must come up at 9 p.m. They are not going to wait for you because people are at home watching on television, waiting for 9 p.m. So if you come at any other time, they should make sure no matter the caliber of the artist, they should not put that artist on stage. That is the way to start.
Thank you so much for that. But I like the fact that Mariam mentioned consequences. But do we have to wait for consequences to do the right thing? Where is the humanity in us to know between what is right and what is wrong? How are we raising our children to understand that you have to do this because it's just right? There is no excuse. You're not doing it because you're afraid of the consequences, but because you're a human being and you must make the right decisions. That's what separates us from animals, who basically we can say they don't have a choice. But you have your cognitive abilities to know that this is right and this is wrong. Do we have to wait for consequences?
If you want 5 children, all cannot be the same. So people are fallible. And that's why we have laws that create consequences for, for failures or irresponsibilities. So yes, consequences is just the way. There's no perfect way to raising a human being, but if people pay for, their failures and things that they do wrong, people will sit up and, you don't want to be called. I remember when I joined the show, someone criticized me once and said, I thought you would say something like this. And I said, basis, what's the basis? And she said, it's there, it's out there. I said, please, so I'm a lawyer. I don't want any libel suit on me. And you're asking me to just, based on what is out there, say something. I said, when I have it as a fact, I would share it on the show responsibly. Otherwise, take your opinion to yourself. So some of us will know. Some of us will just, get in the euphoria of the moment and do things. And some people really don't care. For those who don't care, you create consequences. When they see it, they will not even enter into that contract because they now know that there will be consequences for it.
Yeah.
And then it ensures that people's investments are recovered. The organizers of the show, like I said earlier, are expended. Suing. Refund?
They will refund.
Refund is the minimum.
They will refund the people that meant to
that was destroyed.
They will refund the people who were meant to attend.
How about the money that was supposed to have been made
for the audience?
Yes, they will
the profits. For the audience, there are always those CTs that are hidden in the ticket. So maybe that will cover what they will just refund to the audience. And I hope it's done on time because it usually takes time.
But for the organizers, audience.
No, they don't refund audience.
But I know that abroad they do. And even in the US, I think it was Kwamon was meant to perform when I was in America last year, and he couldn't make it. So the organizers told the people up front before that day, because they had paid up front, that you won't be able to perform again. We are going to be refunding your money. So in organized setting, but when you said about consequences, the truth is human beings are naturally lawless. It happens everywhere, even in developed countries. When they have freedom, things go haywire. I heard something from Kule Shoriyo. He said the height of freedom, when you become so free, is psychosis. You become mad. If you see say you're free, you go mad.
Go decrease.
Yes, you go down decrease. So a lot of our people forming like, I'm so free, I can walk around anyhow I want to walk around. They start looking at you like you're mad. So the government, the policies, laws are meant to checkmate that part of freedom that we want to express, so that we don't abuse it, so that my own freedom does not begin to infringe on Nima's freedom, or my freedom infringes on Mariam's freedom. So there's a law to protect everybody's interest.
BC, just short one. Okay. People that don't wait until consequences that you mind, those are special people. They are recognized for that.
Wow.
People that do things just for altruistic motives, without any agenda, no motives. Those are really special people.
So we should
the rest
thrive.
of us,
we should thrive to be special.
Yeah,
that's the advice. Thank you so much, ladies, for this conversation. I hope you have learned a thing or two. We need to work on our integrity, honesty, ability to show up for the job, deliver excellence when the job finally comes. Whether you have blown or you are yet to blow, let that be your character traits. Let that be the legacy that you're leaving behind. And that's all we can take on today's show. Join us tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye-bye now.